Alright, what's up guys? Swim here. Um, tonight, I've got my Monarchs deck profile for you. I was actually debating on which deck I wanted to do. I recorded this actually last week. Had a bit of corruption on the footage, so I just did the Vanguard profile, because I already had that set up to upload. But, this deck is pretty much ready. At least for the current April format. It's tested really well. I had 1 week at locals that I got 3rd place, and I also had a night after locals where I was testing this against Boojins, and I went. I think I only lost 1 match out of 3, or I lost 1 duel out of 3 matches. So Boojin being one of the decks of the format definitely shows the power. Actually, we didn't even side in that. It was just kind of a little bit of friendly dueling here and there. Yeah, we'll just get started with it. We'll start with Frog Engine. We're just running... Here, let me make sure everything's good on the camera. Okay, so we're running 3 Treeborn. Treeborn being the namesake for Frognarch, giving you Tribute Fodder every turn, generally. And then 3 Swap and 1 Ronin. Swap is just it's a way to get Treeborn to grave, but it also gives you sometimes some Tribute Fodder, sometimes it can make a Gachi or something. It being 2, along with Ronin, is the thing. Ronin, again, is kind of just, it can get you a 2nd Tribute if needed. So that's just the small 7-card Frog Engine. For the Monarchs, to quote, not really the card that kind of makes the deck. This just makes so many awkward situations. Forces your opponent to use resources to get rid of it, and it can always get a big monster back when it dies. It's just really good. I hate to admit it, but it kind of is the reason that the deck is a thing. You drop a lad against most decks, and it just really hampers their abilities. So yeah, we're running 3 of him. It's just such a good card, and this deck can make it very easily. We're running 2 Mega Mobius. Really good new addition to the deck. These current formats, past and future, have just been really back row dependent. So with his ability, when you sacrifice a water, either upgrading from a regular Mobius or sacrificing either an opponent's monster and a Treeborn, anything like that, as long as you sacrificed a water as one of the monsters for a summon, you can pop 3 cards, pop 3 back row, I should say, and they can't be chained. Aside from counter traps, so it just kind of wipes it. Otherwise, if you sacrifice anything else, his ability still pops the 3, but they can't be chained. But just being able that 3 is pretty much like a Harpy's Feather Duster on its own. So that's it for the 2 sacks. We're only running 5 of them. For the actual regular Monarchs, we're running 3 Caius, 2 Ryza, 1 Mobius. Just really good all around. Again, back row dependence right now. Mobius is a good card. Caius is also really good. Ryza, still really good. Bonus about this, against especially the Boojin deck, is that there's no destruction. So on average, they will be running 2 turtles, which is the only thing that can negate the destruction, or targeting. With the other such cards in the deck, you pretty much use up those turtles like really fast, and then their hairs are dead and grave, so it's pretty good. And then just to round it off, I'm just main decking 1 Jinzo. Again, back row dependence. Jinzo can just win you duels because they'll have set 5 and can't do anything about it. Then for hand traps, we are running 1 Gorz. Gorz is just a good card. No Tragodia, just because I don't feel like it's really needed in the deck. Gorz can give you 2 tributes, really big monster on field, something really good to bring back with Lad. So Gorz has always been a good card. And just continue on with battle traps, we have 3 Fader. Fader is just pretty much a staple in Frognarchs. just because it gets your free tribute, ends the battle phase. It's just really good. I forgot to mention also with Gores, just because of Treeborn, we're never really running much back row. Excuse me. Yeah, we're never running much back row, so Gores is always alive. Again, Fader, always good. You know, I've just never had an issue with Fader being bad. And then also 2 Ghost Trick Jack Frost. He's also another kind of thing like Fader in that sets a monster, which is really good. You know, gives you a Book of Moon effect. Sets the monster, ends that current battle. You can usually do it at the end of turn, pick something with low defense, and then attack over it on the next. And then just 2 max C. It's worked out pretty well. If anything, against most things, it's at least it's a net 0, so you at least get a card off of it. If not, it'll stop them in their tracks, or you get a lot of cards off of it. I was debating putting in Veilers for that, but with the Bujin ruling on Yamato, Veilers kind of dead, so I'd rather just take care of Yamato otherwise. And for spells, running 1 Foolish Burial, just get Treeborn to Grave. Probably the most broke card in the deck is Enemy Controller. The second effect where you can tribute a monster to take control of an opponent's monster till the end of the turn. With Treeborn, you summon Treeborn, tribute Treeborn, take control of a monster, and since this is a quick play, played from hand, you can bring back Treeborn, so you net nothing. You essentially get a plus on it, and then you can sacrifice your opponent's monster for something else. And yeah, it's just such a good card. It's kind of like the basis of the deck is really netting your opponent negative by using their cards as resources. Same with Soul Exchange. Just again using your opponent's monsters for Monarchs. This deck has been around for a while. The concept of Monarchs. I think the original one was called Soul Control, where it's just a matter of card advantage. Let's say I play Soul Exchange on an opponent's monster, sacrifice it for Caius, banish a card. I have essentially made my opponent go -1. Just the fact that he used, well, it's actually a 0. I used 1 card to get rid of a card, and then I didn't really use the card because I still have it. So it is a +1 situation. And it gets two cards of my opponents off the field, and I get 1 card on field. So yeah, it is technically +1. And then just round it off, we're running 3 MSTs. Just a little bit of swag points on these. I have to thank Scarnova for the extended art. They're so beautiful. But again, MST has just always been a staple. And my personal tech is 3 Reckless Greeds. I was testing around with 3 dualities at one point, but it just kind of really becomes dead late game when you need that frog out every turn. So the Reckless Greeds have always been great. Actually, I had 1 game against a Bujin player where I drew into all 3 first turn, and it was just really uncalled for. But you know, again, Reckless, it's a thing. The whole Hoban mechanic. I hate using that word, but that's how it has been coined. The whole Hoban generating advantage. You know, you can usually Reckless into a Reckless, and then you just stack the draw phases, and you don't go neg. So that's it for main. What extra? The extra end side here are still kind of in the works. There are a few cards I'm missing, a few cards I would rather have instead, but again, we're just working at it. We have 1 rank 8 Giant Grinder. I'm working on getting a Fell Grinder to replace this. Just between Mega Mobius and Lad, you have plenty of targets for 8s, so it definitely works out for that. 1 Bouncer, 1 Gauntlet Launcher, 1 Exit Beetle, and 1 Thunder Charger. Should put Thunder Charger over there, because it is a 7. Thunder Charger just pretty much goes over top of these, or if you were to take a rank 5 or 6, you can just make it your own. Bouncer, you know, actually pretty good against Bujins right now. Gauntlet Launcher just to pop cards. Exit Beetle can actually like snag a turtle out of grave. Snag a turtle, hare, centipede, colon, etc. Just to pull those out. So he actually has some pretty good relevance right now. And then, yeah, that's just it for the higher ranks. For rank 2s, we're running 1 Herald, Pure Light. Just being able to pull the cards out of grave. Get a lad bag, especially. Get a lad bag, a swap frog, in case they like solemn it or something. And then 1 hour Kappa. Never really go into him, but he does have situations here and there where he'd be a little bit better. 1 Dagusu Phoenix, just for some OTK potential. Gets more damage on board. Double Gachi. Usually, you can sit on a Gachi a while. With the extra 400, it actually gives Lad an extra negation. So it's a really big bonus. And then just a lot of this extra deck is left over from my Frog Lancer deck that I was building. But we do have 1 Dark Mist. In very rare occasions it can be made. But I'm just, again, really working on this instead. For rank 1s, we're just running 1 Utopia Roots. Very rarely go into him, but he is pretty good. 1 Slacker Magician, probably going to bump Root to 2, and then 2 Dillahan. Dillahan's actually pretty nice. He has a quick effect where you can half the attack, and he also allows you to recycle the Jack Frosts. And then side, it's really a matter of building for your locals, or whatever event you're going to go to. But a few cards I would suggest. DD Crows, always a good card, being able to strip cards from the graveyard. Envinuba's, Necrovalley on legs. Boudins just can't handle, essentially. Angel of 7, such a good card. I need another one of these, maybe even another 2. In Dragon format, they couldn't do anything because it negates all monster effects. There's actually a new card coming out in Prio that is a baby version of him, but it's 2400. So honestly, it's a lot better than this, but it's the same thing where it negates all monster effects, or all monster effects cannot be activated. I'll also say an extra Jinzo isn't bad at all. Small engine that I was actually maining last format was double Vanity's Fiend and 1 Christia, just for the special summon lockdown. Also, always have your extra hand traps, 3 Veiler. Again, I used to main those, but 3 Veiler inside. 1 Dark Hole inside isn't bad either. I just like to, I know there's kind of like the trend of you can side into traps game 2 because they'll side out all of their MSTs and such. But I prefer to have my sides as extra Monarchs and hand traps. Really not changing the play of the deck at all. Because of the engine of the deck, you can run a lot of stuff that really couldn't be run, like Angel of 7, End of Anubis, stuff like that. Arc of Christia especially. You very rarely see that card outside of Agents. So it's definitely being able to run cards like that really buffs up the deck, and it's just really unexpected. But that is it for the profile. Again, I'm really kind of working on this. If I ever get a solid one down, I will update the profile. Yeah. Maybe next week I'm probably going to get some good profiles at local, so I'll have a couple of weeks of backup. But I am working really hard on my Chainbeat profile, or my Chainbeat deck. Really trying out some wacky things just to set up for the new format. Really getting a lot of work in on that. But that is it. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, follow. Everything is down in the description. Check out Yu-Gi-Oh prices, and I'll see you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.